I believe that RHA's main role is essentially to build a sense of community for our residents, is to help them feel connected to Emory. And RHA has done that in the past and is doing that currently as well through all the programming we do and through our collaborations with other organizations.
RHA is a little more informal than some other organizations like SGA and College Council. It's a little smaller, and it's really to in a more informal way enhance the lives of students on campus through the advocacy portion and the programming side. And we do that by having hall programs for every single residence hall and also doing the campus-wide events, which is what, as the Vice President of Programming, I was in charge of this year. And I planned things like Coke floats, Crystal apples, Fall Fiesta, that kind of stuff.
RHA's main purpose, in my opinion, is to build a residential experience that will last for a lifetime. Kids come from all over the United States, all over the world, and we have the great opportunity to bring residents together with all different backgrounds to come to a table or come to an event that really showcases what Emory and also what the halls have to offer.
This year I'm running off of kind of a RHA. It's more than just housing. And I think a lot of the time, since it's Residence Hall Association, it's always just kind of associated with things that just have to do kind of like with housing. And the idea is that we kind of want to make res life student life. And I think that's the purpose of RHA. We're supposed to foster community within the freshman experience, within the sophomore experience, within the experience of any upperclassman that lives on campus.
I think just as in general on campus, it can be really difficult to get things done. Like, say you have something advocacy-wise or programming-wise that you feel is really important and you need to bring about change. It can be like a very formal process and take a long time, and I want RHA to be more approachable in the future. You know, more sponsorships, like more inter-organization collaboration, that kind of stuff that helps get those things done quicker and that gives all the students in the residence halls a bigger voice on campus.
I think the biggest issue facing students in the res halls has to be not getting to know their neighbors, not getting to know the people within their res halls. And at the end of the year, they usually say, you know, I wish I had the opportunity to get to meet each other, you know, to get to sit down and talk. And I think we're doing a disservice within the halls when we don't have opportunities like that, or students aren't being engaged enough to do such a thing like that. So I think that's, in my opinion, the fundamental part about, you know, res halls is to bring people together and actually talk and get to know one another.
One of the biggest issues with people living in the residence halls, I believe, is that sometimes their voice gets lost, and that goes across all years. People come in freshman year with expectations for that year. People come in freshman year having expectations for how their senior year is going to go. And we need to make sure that we stay consistent all throughout the board. And there's been a lot of focus on the freshmen, but I believe that we've kind of lost the upperclassmen along the way.
The issue facing our residents today is feeling connected to the Emory community and to the other residents in other halls. RHA's main responsibility is to ensure that our residents feel connected and have a sense of community within the greater Emory area. So essentially what I feel we should do to fix this, and what I plan to do to fix this, is have more collaborations with College Council, SGA, and SPC, and essentially help fund their programs in essence, which will help our residents have a greater experience. In addition, I would also like to work with our Greek communities and other organizations to help fund their events, and essentially work together with them to host events that the majority of our residents can attend.
I think the biggest issue for me with RHA this year has to be the engagement with upperclassmen. I've been in meetings where we solely focus on, you know, the freshmen, and I have nothing against the freshmen, but I think that there is more to what we do. I think our job as an RHA exec board and hall councils are to promote communities and building relationships with all residents. In my opinion, we are failing at that, and it usually takes one person at the meeting to remind us that, you know, the upperclassmen also matter. And I want to make sure that, as president, we make sure that the upperclassmen also have a say.
I believe that there are two main issues with RHA. One is that the Greek community and Claremont community have really lost their voice. We focused a lot on the freshman experience within the past few years, but in the process we've kind of gotten away from the upper class experience. I think we need to shift back towards focusing on their expectations of Emory. I think one of the ways that we need to do that is realize that within those communities we need to change our ideals to mesh with their independent culture. The second issue, I believe, is that RHA is unique in the sense that we have a dual body system, programming and advocacy, and we don't exactly utilize them together. And I think that we need to start advocating and assessing and seeing what exactly people are expecting and want out of programs, and then we take that to the programming aspect and give people exactly what they want, whether that be tailgates, faculty involvement, better dining, intellectual engagement.
The biggest issue I see with RHA is essentially working and collaborating with other organizations. I feel that RHA is strong in what it does now, but it's not recognized or well known for that. And that is because it doesn't collaborate much or to the level that I would like or that would benefit the Emory community the most. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the best thing, again, like I stated before, is to work more with SGA, College Council, and SPC, and essentially increase the amount of events we do, have more things for a resident, have more fun events for our residents.
Even though RHA is one of the more informal organizations in terms of the big elections right now, I think it can definitely be more approachable. And I would like to make it more approachable by increasing sponsorships and also bringing about more programs that deal with different types of people, like instituting an alumni program and using the RHA program for that in like a different way, where like maybe each residence hall would have or some multi-residence hall alumni programming and that kind of stuff. And then also, I want to bring more of the advocacy that happens, because advocacy is not really included in the main meetings. They're on separate days, and I'd like to have more of a correspondence between those two.
I'm the best candidate for RHA President because I've seen RHA from both standpoints. Freshman year, I served as Dobbs Hall Council President, and when you're a Hall Council, you're very program-oriented. You just want to make sure that you and your friends have the best experience possible, and so we really made sure that our programs that year fit exactly what everyone wanted. Sophomore year, I acted as Greek liaison to RHA and did a lot of work with the Phoenix Plan, and so I know Greek life from a housing and resident standpoint. Currently, as a junior, I serve as Vice President of Advocacy, where I assess and promote what people want to see from RHA and what people want to see on campus.
I feel that I'm the best candidate for the position because of three main reasons: my vision, my passion, and my experience. My vision stems from the fact that I have a great idea of how RHA can take a better role and stronger role in our community, and essentially by collaborating with other organizations and the Greek community. And my passion comes from the fact that I really care about our residents. I really want them to have a better experience on campus, and that's the main reason I've also been involved in Res Life and all the other organizations I've been involved in. And that essentially is to why my experience is extremely important. Because of the diverse organizations I've been part of, it has helped me have a key insight on what steps needs to be taken to better improve our Emory experience.
I think what makes me the best candidate is that I've actually started to do what I want to do this year. As the Vice President of Programming, I've already approached the Student Hardship Fund, SPC, the Student Alumni Board, and all of them have had integral roles in the events that I've been planning. So we raised money for the Student Hardship Fund and had some collaboration there at Fall Fiesta. SPC, we worked together for Candyland, and now we have a relationship where we're actually working with them on Dooley's Week. And so I really see progress there. And then also Student Alumni Board, I'm working on some more programming with them. We've used the sponsorship, but I actually want to do some co-programs next year, which I'm actually on the Student Alumni Board too, so I think that's really possible and really easy to do. So.
I believe I have the most experience of all the candidates. I've been a part of RHA for 3 years. I've served as the president of McTrimble, and I also served on the executive board as the volunteer chair for 2 years. I think I've seen people come and go, different ideals come and go, but I think I know what RHA means, I know what we stand for, and I believe that I can effectively lead RHA next year.
At the end of my tenure as the RHA President, I would like to be remembered for bringing printers to every hall around campus. I believe that many major universities around the U.S. already have that instituted in them, And more importantly, I feel like it's important for our students to have easy access to printing materials. There are many times that their own printers don't work or the library is just way too far. I think it's just feasible for the amount of money they pay for other extra activities that should be put in to building printers around halls. In addition, I'd also be like to know for increasing our collaboration with the Greek community and other organizations. At the end of my tenure, I want people to know what RHA is and actually support RHA and be as excited as they are for other events like SPC and SGA.
I just want to make the students happy, you know? I want them to feel like their life outside of school is fun and that they have things that they like to do and that they want to go to events and that what they want changed will happen just to enhance their experience. And if I can make, you know, students happy that way, then that makes me happy and I feel like I've done a good job. It's not really about me, it's about like what I can do for the residence halls and for the students that live in them.
For me, the most important thing I want to be remembered for is for trying things, being courageous to make the tough decisions in terms of where I see RHA going in the future. One of the major focal points of my campaign is to foster a better community for upperclassmen. And I believe that with that being in the forefront of my mind, I think that if we fight at the beginning of the year for that ideal, at the end of the year, we'll say, you know what, we did what we could do and we tried. But we can't, saying one thing and not trying is unacceptable in my book. I think we have to try. We have to fight for, you know, the ideals that makes RHA great.
As RHA president, I want to be remembered for fulfilling those expectations that people bring to Emory. From freshman to senior year, I want to give people the programs that they want. And I want to be remembered for bringing encumbered laundry to main campus.